Hi everybody! Guess what? It's the middle of June, the June 15th garden tour. Just kind of an update of what's going on. So I'm going to try to keep this really short. Let's pan over here real quick. That's where I've got the bathtub. Haven't really done anything yet with that. Just filling it with some broken down wood chips. I've got the tubs over there. Those are just starting to have zucchini seedlings coming up. More seedlings than some of the other ones. Got the eggplant growing. Still working on that, but I'm just starting to get it together. And you'll see the seedlings that are just starting. So it'll be another month till I get anything out of them. And there's the truck bed. I've got some sort of squash, I think, coming up in there. And then I've got some Korean melon seeds that I put in there from a couple years ago, and they're growing. There's a new pile of wood chips he just got. And supposedly 2 more loads are coming in soon. Papaya trees. Let's see, they're doing really good. And I'm continuing to compost in place right under the trees. Taught that to the truck driver that came out. He's been growing, they've been growing papayas and papaya trees with no fruit. He said it was his neighbor's got a whole bunch of trees, but they don't produce fruit. And I said, are they composting underneath or throwing leaves and wood chips? And he said, no. That's why they have no fruit, and they're in this area. So he's going to get some compost tubs going and wood chips, and they'll see a big difference on that. So there's more of the papayas. Oh goodness, we just keep picking papayas. It's unbelievable. Look at this. And Gary just gave one to the truck driver just, what, 2-3 days ago. I can't even remember. He just gave them to the truck driver because there's just so many. Okay, so citrus trees are doing good. And I haven't set this up. It's going to be another tower, probably zucchini in there. Say swing over here. My little moringa tree is still struggling. We'll see if that one makes it. That's the one that got chewed to the ground by a rabbit. And speaking of rabbits, yep, they're eating my Swiss chard. Okay, let me slowly swing you around here. Okay, getting these tubs together, these containers, I am composting in place, so they're not ready. Something came up. I really didn't plant anything, so there must have been a seed that came up in there. Tomatillos, this is my moringa tree I planted last summer, and it is doing good. We put that in our green drink every day, so we do use this tree. Okay, tomato coming up from volunteers on the bottom in my containers that are sitting in the ground, so it will set root straight into the wood chip soil there, and it's coming up from seeds on its own. I didn't plant it. Look at the size of these monsters back there. Let me see if I can get in here. Unreal. Look at this. They are huge. And some are growing straight into my compost container there, and some are in their own containers, and they left. I was going to move them, but I might just leave them. And there is a zucchini back there. It's got flowers. I think you can see that. Look at that. There's the flowers. Purple kale, of course, purple curly kale. And then this is the dazzling blue kale, I believe. Of course, my collard field is still growing. Peppers from last year are making a comeback. So are the tomatoes. And this is the papaya. I've got to get this fixed up a little better. Another composting container. This red Swiss chard is going to seed. Let's see if I can get over here. Made a video on this. You can't even see it anymore. It's a jungle. This is the compost in place containers I do. And there's 3. 1, 2, it's 3 tier. I haven't planted anything on the center small one yet. I'm still composting in here, see? So when I compost in here and water, it waters the entire thing, so the water just goes down. But everything's doing so good. We've been getting tomatoes, and I've got onions growing in there. I've got a carrot top down here. This is just the carrot top, but it will go to seed, so that'll be really good. But the tomatoes are doing really, really good. The plant was like, the last video, it wasn't even up to that container, and now it's taken off, and so is the one on the other side. So this triple decker is doing really good. I like doing triple decker. And I probably will put something in the center as soon as I figure out what I want to put in there. Let's see, slowly swing around. More purple kale. I'm composting in place. I think a potato came up there. Okay, those are the 3 black containers that I did a video on as well. I'm composting in place in there on the ground. I don't have the holes on the bottom because of the pepper tree. That's, let me see if I can slowly swing it up. See that pepper tree up there? Well, that sends its roots all the way here. So I didn't put this time the holes on the bottom of these particular containers because I don't want the pepper tree to get in. So that one I haven't planted yet, and I'll cover it with that metal mesh basket thing I bought at the thrift store when I'm ready. This one I put seeds in about 2 weeks ago, and they're just taking off really, really good. And let me see if I can get over here. And this, we've been eating zucchini for the past 3 or 4 nights. We've had zucchini. I think there's some more in there. I'll see if I can get in there and show you. But I've been pulling off zucchini that was, 12 inches long and using it. Walking onions doing really good. See, there's a black container. That's from the video. And boy, do those plants like it. Little droopy because it was really hot today and the sun is just starting to go over the hill. So the leaves will pop back up. Red vein sorrel is here. My celery is going to seed. My collard over there is going to seed. This is another eggplant. I had this one on the deck and I moved it. And I think I've got some great big, look at that, see? Look at that coming up. So I've got 2 eggplants now growing in here. Let's see, mint all over the bottom. I'm trying not to swing you so much. And I really haven't done anything in here either. There's sage growing and parsley, walking onions, all kinds of stuff. It's been really hot, so I'm going to go water as soon as I'm done with this. It's been hot past couple days. Look at the beans. I got so many beans. And this one, I'll probably just pop out the seeds and drop it everywhere. Look at that. Loaded with beans. The whole thing's loaded with beans. Oh, and I also have it growing on the fence. And that is sweet potato in there. Let's see. Over here, more tomatoes. These are beautiful. These midnight snacks. They're growing really good in the front yard. So everything in here is going really good. This is just an old broccoli hybrid kale. Look at the tomatoes. Is that amazing? It is full of tomatoes, just full. I believe there's 2 plants. I thought there were 3, but there's 2 plants kind of gone wild on me. The tomatoes are huge on one plant and small on the other. See, these are small ones. But we've been picking tomatoes constantly. And look at the big ones. Isn't that cool? They're in a tiny, tiny pot. I don't think I can even get in there anymore. In a tiny pot came up the tomatoes, smaller than that one that's down there, and it set root into that white container because the roots just left. Let's see what else I've got. There's that papaya tree still growing on the bottom. Probably will work with that one and let it grow there. Again, like I said, mint is all over. Oh, this is oregano growing in here. More collard, more of the blue, dazzling blue kale. This tomato plant is old. That's from last year. Like, I'm still planting. I'm still working. Let's see. Over here, more collard. And look at this. Pepinos. Isn't that cool? Look at that. This will be our first pepinos. Bought it at the supermarket, planted it, and I have a pepino bush now. So I'll have pepinos growing and harvesting that soon. Got some flowers going. Oh, look at this. That Korean melon that Gary popped open. I took a bunch of seeds. Look at that. I just dropped it in here. See, I composted in here. See that shells? And yes, there's too many. I might move some and then let the best survive. Just threw them in there, put something over it so something wouldn't eat it all, and they all came up. And I didn't think they'd all come up like that. Let's see. I've got strawberry mint covered because the rabbits like it. And I've got, I guess, another zucchini came up in this one. I don't know how that's going to work out. That's my sprouting broccoli, and it really went to seed. I really need to cut it back. And once I cut it back, then I'll get a lot more leaves and stuff out of it. And right now, the leaves are so tiny because it went to seed. So it puts all its energy into seeds. But once I cut all the seeds back, I've been letting the wild birds eat it. See, then the leaves will get really big. And Let's see what else I've got. The tower, I really haven't done anything yet. This is last year's strawberries. And there's my purple sprouting broccoli. And it's getting bigger and bigger, the plant. Hopefully I'll get some broccoli and I'll be able to see what it looks like. This is orange mint all over. And there is my field of kale, just regular dinosaur kale. Look at that. What's really cool about that is if I decide I want to grow dinosaur kale, I just snap a piece off and stick it in a pot and it grows. Let's see, lemon verbena back there. I covered that one because the rabbits were eating that one. And what's really odd is, see this one right here? The rabbits didn't touch this one. So they must like to sit in that corner. So I put a basket over it right now. Hopefully they'll stop. There is some more dinosaur kale I put here. And because it's on the ground, I covered it and it's already set root. There is the zucchini, the squash I put in here. I've got tulle around it because something likes to nibble on it, but they won't touch it with the tulle. Probably the rabbit, and they don't like the tulle. All right, curly kale. That's coming up there. I tried to plant some flowers. I can't remember which one's the freeway daisy. Obviously they're edible. The rabbits like it. So that didn't work out that good. Orange mint. A fig tree. I forgot to get that fig tree out. More oregano, celery. This is another carrot top coming up, so I'll have seeds from that. Tomatoes. I'm going to have to stake this up. I see the tomatoes really need to be staked up. That's growing in the container in a pot, but the roots will leave and go into my compost in place container. These are doing really good. We got tomatoes there. We got another zucchini coming up there. I want to get as much zucchini growing as possible because I use all the zucchini I could possibly grow. Here's the purslane. That's from the grocery store. It looks like it's going to go to flower. And something did nibble a little bit on it. I'm not real big on eating it. Gary is. He likes eating it. I don't. But, from the grocery store, it was $1 a bunch. And I stuck mine in the ground, and he stuck some of his in water, and it didn't grow really good in water. Let's see, over here, there's another dinosaur kale that I actually stuck in there and grew. Oh, look, that's the strawberry spinach. This is getting really big. And I have another one back there. I just planted it in there. So it's kind of small. There's my mushroom plant. That's really good for stir fry. This is another sprouting broccoli. See? This is so good to eat. That's a small one. And again, lemon verbena. Here's my rat. I put that on sticks so you don't poke yourself accidentally. This way, if I bend down in the garden, I'm not going to hurt myself if I forget it's there. Okay, that's a weed, and we do use that in our green drinks. Sow thistle. And I still have to go through all this. Tomatillos. Again, they came up because there was a tomatillo sitting there, so it opened up, and it's growing. Regular green sorrel. Save your toilet paper and paper towel rolls. That's very good for composting. And that's pretty much it. Let's walk real quick over here. I've got my ginger coming up. See? There's my ginger here. And I saw more earlier. Oh yeah, there's another one coming up in here. The turmeric hasn't started yet. And I thought I saw some more. Oh, there's more there. I think there's one back here coming up. I'll put a cover over this. Oh yeah, there's another one here. So they are starting. And there's my stevia. This is what died back all winter, and then it came up. See the pots? They're still growing in the pots, but the pot is in this big pot, so it's got plenty of root space to grow. But anyways, that comes back from the roots. So if your stevia dies, don't throw it away. Just set it aside, keep it watered, treat it like it's still alive, and then come spring, it just takes off and starts growing again. Okay, strawberries, no. Tomatoes, more stevia in there, and then I've got my peppermint. This tomato plant is really taking off. This is that midnight snack. Isn't this beautiful? See if I can get in there. It's really beautiful. And then when I planted it, I had taken a little tiny piece off the bottom, and look at that, it is taking off. That I actually cut off of this plant, just stuck it in there, and it grew. Let's see, more tomatoes. Some of them are from last year. And they're still going. And like I said, I haven't really gotten to a lot. I do have my zucchini down there in my swimming pools. And that is doing really good. So I'm kind of like, I started there, and then I'm going to move to, I have 3 pools here. So that's the first pool over there. Then I'm going to move to this one. I just have some coming up in the center on the second pool. And this one, I'm just got a seedling coming up. This way they're paced a little bit apart, so I don't end up with way too much zucchini at one time. Even though I can cut it up and freeze it, that would be great. So that's pretty much it right now. I definitely, oh, there's some more stevia. See, I thought this stevia down here, I thought this stevia died, but it didn't. And then there was even some red vein sorrel. So, nope, it didn't die. So with that, like I said, I want to keep this short. I don't need to run this thing for 30 minutes. There's not a lot to say. I'm still working on setting up my garden, even though you think, gee, it's almost summer. It is, that is true, but the thing is we've been so cold at night, now we're warming up. Now the weather's changing and the plants really enjoy it. So I got to trim my kale back a little bit, get all the yellow leaves off, compost all that, and I have many more containers that I want to compost and place in and keep going. So I think I'm done for today, and I'm setting up some more of my solar water fountains. The figs are just starting back there, so we'll see what happens. I'm hoping the ones that tasted like strawberries taste like strawberries this year, so we'll see. So I believe with that, I've got everything done. I've got all my tomatoes that I staked up in that video with, look at all the masking tape. You know what? It really holds really good here. I love it. And you know, if it doesn't hold in your area, the masking tape really good, because I use masking tape for staking my tomatoes. The good thing is you can stake it with the masking tape. It's cheap. And then wherever you want to add a little more security to it, you know, tie a little bit of string or yarn or something, but this way it's already up and you don't have to struggle, because it's like almost like 1 or 2 hands to just use masking tape. It takes for sure 2 hands, 3 hands to hold up tomato plants and then try to tie them. There's clips also. I used to use the plastic clips, but they weather really fast, and then once I went to use it and snapped and kind of snapped back to my face, it could have gotten my eye. So I use masking tape. So with that, I'm keeping this short. Have a great day. Please like and subscribe, and we're going to keep going with the videos. We'll have another one up in July, and hopefully things will look even better than they look now, but we have a lot of food. Have a great day, and don't forget to eat what you grow. Bye-bye.